2024-25 NBA season has introduced a startling new reality. Klay Thompson, the sharpshooting icon who spent 13 years as a cornerstone of the Golden State Warriors, is now donning the Dallas Mavericks jersey. The transition feels surreal, especially as Thompson's new team faces off against his old squad, bringing back memories of his indelible legacy in Golden State. But why are the Warriors right about letting Klay Thompson go? Join us till the end to find out. Thompson, drafted 11th overall in 2011, carved his name into NBA history with the Warriors. He was pivotal to the franchise's dynasty, helping secure 4 championships and earning recognition as one of the greatest shooters the league has ever seen. Despite his storied tenure, the end of the 2023-24 season marked the conclusion of an era, with Thompson opting to start anew with the Mavericks. This move, while emotional for fans, was not entirely unexpected. It was the culmination of a challenging season, stalled contract talks, and a desire for rejuvenation. Here's a deeper look into the factors that led to Thompson's decision and what this new chapter means for his career. A difficult final year in Golden State. Thompson's last season with the Warriors was anything but smooth. For the first time since his rookie year, he was relegated to a bench role, a tough adjustment for a player of his stature. Although he regained his spot in the starting lineup later in the season, the transition was a struggle. The Warriors missed the playoffs, with their campaign ending in disappointment after a loss to the Sacramento Kings in the play-in tournament. Thompson's final game for Golden State was emblematic of a frustrating season. He went 0 for 10 from the field, leaving fans and analysts questioning what was next. Off the court, contract negotiations between Thompson and the Warriors had stalled, signaling a growing divide. Reports throughout the season hinted at the possibility of his departure, and by the time free agency began, it was clear that both sides were preparing for a split. The Warriors, eager to return to contention, were looking to free up resources to pursue a marquee signing. This limited their ability to offer Thompson a competitive deal. Ultimately, he agreed to a 3-year, $50 million contract with Dallas in a sign-and-trade involving the Mavericks, Warriors, and Hornets. A fresh start. During his introductory press conference with the Mavericks, Thompson opened up about his decision to leave the only NBA home he had ever known. "Sometimes change can spur greatness," Thompson said. "A new change of scenery can do wonders. I'm very grateful for my time at Golden State, but I just felt like moving on could re-energize me and do something special for the rest of my career." Thompson also reflected on rediscovering the joy of basketball, something that had diminished during his final years with the Warriors. "Coming here is just a fresh start and me feeling wanted again. I bring great value, and it just gets me excited to go work out after this press conference," he shared. "There were times last year that were tough, where it wasn't as joyful as it had been in the past. It's nice to shed that and have a whole new fresh start." Despite the amicable split, Thompson's departure marks a significant turning point for both him and the Warriors. The franchise, which once thrived on the chemistry between Thompson and Stephen Curry, must now move forward without one half of the Splash Brothers. In a statement, the Warriors paid tribute to Thompson's legacy, saying, "Klay's legacy will live on forever, and we look forward to the day we can retire his 11 jersey at Chase Center." Even for Curry, the reality of competing against his longtime teammate is bittersweet. Head coach Steve Kerr summed up the situation succinctly. "I think Klay made the right decision going to Dallas. Just seeing him the last couple of years, I think he needed a fresh start. And now, as a Maverick, Thompson is embracing the opportunity to reinvent himself. For Dallas, his arrival adds veteran leadership and elite shooting to a team looking to compete in a crowded Western Conference. For Thompson, the move is a chance to rediscover his joy for the game and write a new chapter in his storied career. Why the Warriors were right to let Klay Thompson go. How his exit has improved them a lot. After their championship triumph in 2022, the Golden State Warriors appeared to be a team on the decline. 2 seasons ago, they fell to the Lakers in the second round of the playoffs, and last year, their struggles led to an early exit during the play-in tournament. For a franchise built around the legendary Stephen Curry, the notion of competing for another title seemed increasingly far-fetched, especially after the front office opted for major changes in the offseason. Gone were longtime Warrior Klay Thompson and veteran point guard Chris Paul, casualties of a cost-cutting initiative that appeared to signal a rebuild rather than contention. With Curry turning 36, it seemed Golden State's golden era was at its end. But the moves intended to trim the team's payroll unexpectedly created a rejuvenated, dynamic roster. 10 games into the season, the Warriors find themselves tied for the best record in the Western Conference, proving the doubters wrong. Here's a closer look at the 4 reasons why Thompson's exit is behind Golden State's remarkable resurgence and why they're competing at the top level. The return of strength in numbers. Throughout the Warriors' dynastic run, head coach Steve Kerr emphasized the mantra of strength in numbers, a philosophy that valued contributions from the entire roster. While the Warriors relied on star power, their bench players and role players often provided the critical depth needed to win championships. In recent years, however, that depth had evaporated. Injuries, roster turnover, and underperforming players made it difficult for Kerr to implement his preferred strategy. This season, though, things have changed. Kerr has called this the deepest team he's ever coached, and the numbers back him up. No player on the team is averaging more than 30 minutes per game, and Kerr has been able to utilize 13 players for double-digit minutes consistently. The result is a balanced, energized squad where everyone plays a role. Curry and Draymond Green remain the team's anchors, but the resurgence of Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney has been vital. Both struggled last season, but have returned to form this year. Additionally, the Warriors' recent draft picks are starting to contribute meaningfully, and their offseason acquisitions have exceeded expectations. Buddy Hield, a better fit than Klay Thompson. One of the most significant additions to the Warriors this season has been sharpshooter Buddy Hield, who has seamlessly filled the role once occupied by Klay Thompson. Hield has emerged as a 6th Man of the Year contender, averaging 18 points per game off the bench while shooting an eye-popping 48.8% from beyond the arc. Hield's arrival has brought renewed energy and efficiency to the team, unlike Thompson's final season, where he sometimes forced shots or struggled to adapt to a changing role. Hield has embraced his position off the bench. His willingness to buy into Kerr's system and focus on his strengths has been a game-changer. Hield struggled to find a fit in Philadelphia last season, but in Golden State, he's flourished. Despite being known for his defensive limitations, Kerr has devised strategies to mitigate those weaknesses, allowing Hield's offensive prowess to shine. His performance has made him an invaluable piece of the Warriors' resurgence. Updated offensive and defensive schemes. Part of what has made Hield and the rest of the roster so effective is the Warriors' revamped approach on both ends of the court. Golden State has embraced a more aggressive defensive philosophy under the guidance of new assistant coach Jerry Stackhouse. Last season, the Warriors ranked 23rd in turnovers forced, a sign of their lack of defensive activity. This year, they've climbed to 6th in that category, driven by an emphasis on deflections and ball pressure. The team's long, athletic players thrive in this system, and Draymond Green remains the defensive linchpin, orchestrating rotations and covering for his teammates' gambles. On offense, the Warriors have added new wrinkles to their movement-heavy system, thanks to assistant coach Terry Stotts. Stotts, a former head coach in Portland, introduced blocker-mover actions that were instrumental in the success of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. These plays have unlocked new opportunities for Curry and Hield, propelling the Warriors from the league's 9th-ranked offense last season to 4th this year. Stephen Curry, the eternal superstar. While the Warriors' improved depth and tactics have been crucial, none of this would matter without Stephen Curry. The 36-year-old remains the heart and soul of the team and one of the most dangerous players in the league. Curry's raw statistics, 22 points and 6.3 assists per game, are modest by his standards, but they reflect a reduction in minutes rather than a decline in skill. Kerr has kept Curry's workload to just 28.3 minutes per game, allowing him to stay fresh and maintain his legendary shooting efficiency. Curry is hitting 43.5% of his three-pointers, his best mark since the 2018-19 season. Beyond the numbers, Curry continues to deliver in the clutch. His game-sealing night-night three-pointer against the Thunder last week was a reminder that he remains one of the league's most feared closers. Even when Curry missed a few games due to a sprained ankle, the Warriors held steady, going 3-0 in his absence. That resilience shows the depth and balance of this year's team. This Warriors team may not resemble the dynastic squads led by Curry and Thompson, but they've found a way to reinvent themselves while staying true to their identity. Their wins over elite teams like the Celtics and Thunder show that they're not just a good regular season team, but a legitimate championship contender. With Curry still at the helm, a rejuvenated roster, and innovative coaching strategies, Golden State has defied expectations and returned to prominence. The strength in numbers philosophy is alive and well, proving once again that this team is capable of greatness, even in a new era. What do you think about them? Let us know in the comments section below.